Welcome to history's shittiest debates and podcasts, and today I'm going to have a conversation with Raw Carnist, episode 5, by the way. And within this conversation, you're going to see some epistemological mistakes. He tried to derail to nutrition, however, I kept it on what he considered to be truth. And just remember this, everybody, when somebody tries to change the subject, you really need to pinpoint and focus what he's talking about. You can't just let people change what they're saying all willy-nilly. Now, with this being said, something I do really want to try and get across here is, if you want to learn more about epistemological truth, link in the description down below. Anything that I've mentioned in this video will be down in the link in the description down below. Logic razors, fallacies, yada yada. So, epistemology is the study of knowledge, which goes down two rabbit holes. Empiricism, which is physical, real-world facts, and then realism, which is philosophy, thinking, spirituality. Now, if you want to learn about that, link in the description down below as well. So, yeah. So, with that being said, let's get into the video. Yeah, so, I went vegan for a number of reasons. Do you want to hear, like, the little short summary story kind of thing?
Yeah. When you started, why, and how are you feeling, for example? Like, well, how's it going, etc.?
I mean, like, in general, I'm doing just fine. Like, how do I say? I had health issues before. So, like, 5 years ago, I Googled diets for recovery, and I found vegan diet popped up, and I thought, like, oh, this is all bullshit. I'll find a debunk of it eventually. I never really found a debunk for any of the claims, such as saturated fat, cholesterol, heme iron, TMAO, although I'm not the best with heme iron, TMAO information, but I eventually saw a debate with Rationality Rules Cosmic Skeptic. I watched the Game Changers. I went vegetarian. I felt way better on a vegetarian diet. I also, I used meal planners. So, I made sure I was getting all my vitamins and nutrients. And then I eventually switched over, about a month later to being a full vegan. And I only felt better. And I just, when I went vegetarian, a part of the reasons was because, I was addicted to cheese. And also, I was eating it somewhat for, to make my family happy. But I felt better when I wasn't eating it. And I noticed a huge difference in my athletic performance. So it's been about a year now. And yeah, I'm happy. And
4 years.
What?
So you went vegetarian for 4 years?
No, a month.
And then you're 5 years vegan?
No, 1 year. I said 1 year. I said it's been about a year.
Oh, so you're 1 year vegan and 1 month vegetarian?
Yeah.
Kind of? Okay,
yeah.
So what about before? How were your dietary habits before? Before vegetarian?
They were incredibly healthy, actually. I only ate junk food once every month or 2 months. And my health problems are way worse. I
guess.
So, I have some arthritis. I also have some tendonitis issues. I also have some. So basically, let's say if I didn't go out for a walk for a month, and if I all of a sudden decided to go out for a walk, the arthritis in my knees would kind of act up a bit, and I wouldn't be able to go for a long walk. So if I didn't walk around for 8 days, being on a vegan diet, sorry, not 8 days, a month,
yeah,
and if I went out for a walk for 8 hours, I just don't feel any inflammation, or if I do, it's usually very little. And I mean, it's kind of hard to put into words. It feels kind of like magic to some extent, But I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert on the science. I do know a bit about the science. When it comes to the inflammation studies, I haven't looked too much into that aspect. But particularly when it comes down to it, when I was an omnivore, I wasn't eating very much junk food. I was exercising plenty. Now could there be other reasons why my health improved, such as correlation doesn't always equal causation? Sure, maybe my health was just on a trajectory to get better, but at the same time, I did notice when I stopped eating cheese, I felt better too. So, I mean, I'm just saying, there's always. I'm not saying there's not other X factors, but yeah.
Okay. I don't know if this can apply to you, but I saw something that said wheat was pretty a big trigger on inflammatory issues. I don't know if you're aware, but treatment for it's not really a treatment. It's kind of like a temporary treatment for arthritis and other stuff like that is fasting, because when you stop eating, the symptoms just go away, and when the people start eating again, they come back. So it's weird. It's like what you're eating is causing this. So maybe you should look up into wheat or something like that if you're interested in reducing arthritis. That might help you. Amongst other things, my own experience, I started looking up fasting to lose a little weight in the beginning of the pandemic. So like maybe 8 months ago, maybe more. And then I looked up into low carb diets because I pretty much discovered on my own about ketosis and stuff like that. So I used you know what ketosis is, right?
So ketosis is, let's say, a low carb diet. Yeah. So usually you follow under one or two strategies for losing weight. Now, I'm not an expert on losing weight, but what I understand is people either go with low fat, high carb, or low carb, high fat, or high fat,
something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I stopped eating carbs. I never really drank milk, to be honest. That's not really a carb that affects me. Nowadays, I don't even drink milk unless it's raw, and it's really hard to find raw milk in my country. But so basically, yeah, I went from eating everything to just doing fasting for a few months. Let's say like 2 months, not entirely 2 months without eating, just fasting intermittently. Like maybe 2 days, I would fast and then I would eat something. But it's horrible. It's not pleasant to fast at all. But I did lose a lot of weight, like 15 kilograms in 2 months.
Yeah, I've done like that's actually you're supposed to lose 15 kilograms, and that's a bit like, was that 2 pounds a month? Was that like 2 pounds a week? Because you're
do the math. Honestly,
yeah, that's a bit more. You're supposed, just for the record, if you're losing faster than 2 pounds a week, you could be losing muscle mass. Like,
I definitely understand. I believe that. I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah. I'm just letting you know this.
That's why. I looked into fasting
yeah, I have looked into fasting. I fasted in the past, and to some extent, like
it's for health reasons and stuff. But there's benefits and disadvantages when you do fasting.
I honestly. You go. Yeah, you can go.
All right. No, it's not really hard to understand my position. I just tried to lose weight, and I looked up fasting. Then I found out about ketosis. From then on, I understood I had to be in ketosis to lose more weight, which is instead of eating sugar, instead of losing fat by eating less sugar, you basically use your own fat for energy. So your body is always losing fat. It's amazing. It's awesome. Their own concept. It grabbed me really. I really liked it, so I started doing ketogenic diets.
Okay.
But it lasted for like a month because I distinctly remember hating to eat leafy greens, even though people keep telling me it's healthy. I'm talking about lettuce and spinach and stuff. Unless I cook them, of course, because if I eat them raw, I hate them.
I mean, like.
But no, it's my path is really linear. It's always been less and less carbs. Then I found a zero carb diet, which I'm sure you know, and I followed the carnivore diet and a bunch of YouTubers and stuff. And now I'm doing raw carnivore because I found another dude. I can write the name. I can't pronounce it. It's like this.
Sverige. Is it Sverige?
But yeah, I think I saw his videos on Sverige too, for example, as well as Frank Tufano and other people, I think.
Okay, so I'm not super familiar with the carnivore diet, but I want to cover some things before we talk about that.
Yeah, but I'm not following it. I'm following a raw animal product diet, like I drink raw egg and stuff.
So I want to talk about particularly when it comes to
it's more close to primal diet than raw.
Right. Yeah. So what I wanted to cover first off is just for the record, I may as well say this for anyone watching or listening. I myself, I have failed to lose 2 or 3 pounds, like 2 pounds a week. I can lose, like I'm cutting right now. I'm losing anywhere between 1 pound to maybe 3 pounds a week, which is a little bit over what I should be, but I haven't particularly noticed any loss of muscle, so I think it's fine. My lifts haven't decreased; they've only increased. But I try to aim for the 1 to 2. So anyone listening to this, you want to aim for the 1 to 2 pounds a week. That is what's recommended. I haven't done a whole lot of research, but you can do your research yourself. So that's the first thing. So keto diet. Number 2 is I'm not super familiar with all the issues of the ketogenic diet, but I'm going to ask you very simply, have you actually done research into the health side effects of keto?
Yeah, that's why I, in the first place, tried keto, because there were so many good things, and I found a lot of controversy around it, because when people think that eating less plants is bad, it always made me angry, because like I'll see all these people doing these lower carb diets, right? And it's so great. Everybody, like even on Reddit and YouTube, everybody's so happy. They lose a bunch of weight. They feel happier. The thing is that the disease they have just maybe like treats itself or just goes away. And I find a lot of people that are on vegetarian or vegan diets like so angry, or maybe they have a reason to be angry, but they're so angry. And I keep thinking to myself, these people are so happy, but the other people are not. And I don't know if it's because they feel threatened by it or something. But then I found zero carb, and now I'm raw carnivore. I've never been so healthy, like honestly. So yeah. So that's it. That's that.
So just give me 1 sec, would you?
All right.
So I could just send you this video, because these videos I could just put in general chat, because he puts all of his studies links in the comments. Like he does links in down below. He's actually this guy's talked multiple times about keto. So one of the criticisms.
I'm following keto. I'm following. Oh, I know that guy. He says some wrong shit.
I mean, do you have anything to prove that? But let me finish.
No, that's true.
Hold on. So one of the criticisms of the keto diet is, let's say if you're an athlete, even though it can be very effective for losing weight, one of the big problems is you might run into lack of energy resource. So for example, let's say if I'm going keto, so that is one of the criticisms, is that some people, they don't find it really works for them because they don't have as much energy. Therefore, they don't have that energy for the 1 hour run to burn all that calories. But if they eat higher, and the other thing is, it's calories in, calories out. Do you agree upon that? Just for the first.
No, I don't.
You don't agree upon calories in, calories out?
That's not how you lose weight. That's not, your body's not just some mechanical thing that you put stuff in. And
so you do not agree calories in, calories out?
I believe hormones are in the picture of how you lose weight. It's about how you treat your body. Yeah.
So I mean, like I'm going to be very straight with you. I have not met I have not seen, I have not read, I have not met any doctors or nutritionists, or I have not been able to find any information to claim that it's not calories in, calories in, calories out is how you lose weight.
I can show you a video, but
it's probably, I think it's probably pseudoscience, if anything. I mean, this is something that's widely accepted, like the earth is, this is something that's so accepted, it's like the earth is round.
I get what you mean. It makes a lot of sense that what you eat is at least on the minimum how much you increase. Like that makes, it's physics, right? It's like easy to understand, but at the same time, your body's made of our hormones and how it behaves on when you eat stuff. It's different. It's not just that. It's more than that.
I mean, I'll be very straightforward with you and very transparent. Okay. I haven't done tons of research on the keto diet. In the past, I've looked up some of the criticisms of the keto diet, such as people suffering from health issues from being on the keto diet, people not having enough energy to get through the day, people, shortness of breath, yada yada.
I can explain that for you if you want.
Well, I think I already did. You run out of energy, so I'm
not gonna watch 2 videos while I'm being recorded. So
you don't have to watch the videos. Like all the studies he talks about, you could click open the video and then look at the studies in the description.
I still do experience this because when you stop using sugar. When your blood sugar is low, you feel hungry and tired and stuff like that. But your own liver can produce glucose, right? Mm-hmm. There's no need to eat anything dietarily to produce glucose, at least.
Okay, so simple question. Can you actually provide, do you have any peer review showing or anything overwhelming from, let's say, a university, something highly credible, that shows that keto diets are safe for people of all ages?
I'd say it's important to understand the feedback from each diet for each people and not just trust science or whatever you claim, because science can be biased and there's data manipulation. And there's YouTubers vegan, why do you trust this guy? Because he's vegan? Of course he's going to tell you the things you like.
No, because before I even was vegan, I have actually looked up some health, was it the positives and negatives of the keto diet? This was a long time
Yeah.
ago. This was like 2 years, 3 years ago.
Yeah, but who
And
told
hold on,
you that?
no. Honestly, I just looked it up from different websites, universities. I don't even really fully remember. So I'm going to be very transparent here. I do not have these studies on hand. All I knew is that for certain people, it definitely helped them lose weight. But one of the problems is, one of which was shortness of breath. The other one, which is that there was a higher correlation in certain health issues for people that tried the keto diet.
Yeah.
So this is my so you might not trust science. That's fine. Well, that's not fine. I mean, like, it's fine that we can sit down and disagree. Like, I'm not going to kill you. I'm not going to come to your house and like fucking burn down your house because you don't agree with me. But like, the thing is you might not trust science. But the reason why I find this important is because, what was it? It's one of the logic razors. Something has to be falsifiable. What was it? Pop's logic razor or something like that? Or was it? I might be mispronouncing his name. It's not about proving something true. It's about proving if something is false. For example, is keto diet healthy? Well, how do we figure that out? Well, is it not healthy?
I don't think keto diet is healthy.
Pardon me?
Healthiest. No, I don't.
But this is my point. I'm just saying, like, you are giving me your anecdotes, and that's fine. You're giving me your anecdotes. That's fine to some extent. But anybody can have an anecdote. Anybody can say, well, I've been smoking for 5 days or 2 weeks or a year, and I feel fine. Well, sure, maybe like 10 years down the line, you might not feel as fine.
That's what, in my opinion, is happening with veganism. It's slow, and when the younger you are, you don't notice it. Only when you're younger and all your protein and fats have been used by your own body, like you're cannibalizing yourself for protein and fats. Only then, when you're really sick and like you look like a skeleton, basically.
This is a derail.
Sorry, what?
I said I'm gonna cut you off. This is kind of a derail. We're talking about how do we know something is provable?
I'm not talking science like that because I want to talk experience. It's different.
No. Okay, well, before we move on to the protein and the vegan diet, I want to stay on topic.
All right, let's stay on topic.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I hate taking control of the conversation, but I think that was a derail. Look, my point that I'm trying to bring up here is how do we know if something is true?
I don't know, dude. I'm not. That sounds like philosophy to me. I'm just talking about how healthy it is to eat something. Like you can totally notice it. Just see somebody following a diet, for example, and if they look healthy or they feel healthy for a long period of time, you can just assume it's healthier.
Okay.
I mean, it's really not rocket science, to be honest. It's really easy.
Have you ever heard of appeal to anecdote fallacy?
Well, what? No. I don't know what that is.
So it means that you're making an issue in your critical thinking. So one of which, so I'll actually get that. So appeal to
Wait, so you think if you're eating ice cream every day, and like, I'm not saying even ice cream. Imagine eating poison and you feel bad. Do you think there's no correlation?
Hold on.
Like, it's not really rocket science.
Correlation doesn't equal causation. Hold on. Anecdotes can be useful, but anecdotes alone can also be fallacious. So, like, we all use anecdotes to an extent, and like, if I have 20 anecdotes telling me X, Y is true, that becomes a statistic.
Well, I'm telling you my experience.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. It's your experience, and there could be other reasons. Hold on.
I'm saying.
Yeah, but you need to let me finish. You need to let me finish here. So I'm just saying the problem is with anecdotes is that they can, even though they can be helpful, but you need multiple anecdotes and you need like a sample study to some extent. For example, let's say if I had 100 people, out of all those people, how much did this one thing work for them? Now, if I found 100 people where this thing worked for them, but if it was out of 1,000, it's not that good. But if I picked 100 people where it worked for them, and if I just removed, let's say that it worked for 1,000 people, then I'm cherry picking that data. So
I feel like you're honestly cherry picking veganism.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not even talking about veganism. We're talking about truth.
You're saying
no.
like
No. Do you know what epistemology is?
People.
Do you know what epistemology is?
So, like, no, let's keep it simple, to be honest. Like, you're going all the way, like, philosophy.
This is basic simplicity.
Honestly, like,
Yeah, but this
is too complex. Life is so simple. Why are you making this so complex? Like, nobody ever researched veganism
but understanding
before calculators.
Yeah, but
like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, it's because if we don't do this, then we will come to absurdities. Okay. So the reason. Hold on, no. Okay, you can let me finish. Hold on.
After 2.6
okay, hold on. Okay, so we need to allow each other a chance to speak here and there. Now, if somebody is changing the subject, he just left. Thank you for your time. All right, anybody. So for anyone listening to this, straw manning. So for anyone listening to this was pretty cancerous. So when it comes to your epistemology, this is one mistake that you can make. So let's say if I claim, oh well, this works for me, therefore it's good. Well, you have to ask yourself, okay, so that's an anecdote. So what else do we have to prove that's true? Do we have a legitimate authority such as university? Do we have studies of multiple different anecdotes? And if multiple different anecdotes exist, were they cherry-picked? What were studies funded? This is how we understand what is true. So yeah, this is basically why epistemology is important. Now he said, I tried and I keep getting the most crazy vagons. Okay, so this is a problem with his epistemology, is his very unreasonable framing of what he considers to be true allows him to believe the absurdities of what is not true. And because of that, he'll basically sort of frame his oppositions as crazy. And, this guy, I don't think he's a bad person. It's just, I want to understand, what do we consider to be truth? I'll try talking to him again. Hey man, you there? Oh, I guess, okay, he left. I mean, look man, no hate. I don't hate this guy. I have nothing personal against him. I just think that his reasoning is wrong. And I could have went down the whole rabbit hole when he mentioned protein, but the thing is, that was a derail, in my opinion, because I really wanted to stay on track. So when we try to pile together information to understand what is true, to some extent, we will all have a little bit of bias here and there. But it is ideal to try and check our biases. For example, let's say if I find one study, can I find a university that recognizes that study to be legitimate? Can I look at how the study was created? How many different ways can I verify this study? And we all have limited time, right? So we can't always, read into everything. We can't read one study, then read another 100 studies, and read another 100 studies, and another 100 studies, until we've read 2,000 studies. But what I am saying is, it is important to try and make some effort to try and verify your anecdotes with other informations, either being medical professionals, statistics, or legitimate authorities. And yeah, anyways, so once again, I do not hate this person. I do not think I'm not saying this is the worst person in the world. I just think he's making a philosophical mistake in how he understands what is true. And if he cannot, and if he goes down the rabbit hole believing that life is simple and that he doesn't have to, if he doesn't actually try to be logical with his reasoning skills, if he doesn't try to logically understand what is true, then quite simply, trying to dumb down reality to what he wants it to be. What is it he said earlier? Fuck, I might edit this out. What he said earlier, that reality is simple. In my opinion, that is kind of an appeal to emotion. That's how he feels. The world is simple. No, it's not. There's lots of complexities of the world. And logically speaking, if you're not willing to understand the complexities and the rules of logic, the laws of logic, and if you're not willing to understand, if you're not willing to have conversations and understand what someone's calling out with basic fallacies, and if you're not willing to try and challenge your own perspective and re-verify your belief system, then essentially you're just a pseudoscientist. And a pseudoscience is trying to prove your belief to be correct rather than trying to falsify it. And I think we all sometimes are a little bit guilty of this, but you have to be honest with yourself how much you've been able to falsify something. That is important when you're trying to prove something. So long as you're being transparent, you can sort of escape that level of pseudoscience. So for anyone listening, this is a very important conversation on epistemology. And, for anyone watching, I caught him when he was trying to derail the protein. I didn't let him. I don't want to be harassed, thanks. Making a stand by staying in general chat so I can't talk to others. Good job. That's anti-free speech. I unmuted you. You have to join chat to be unmuted. Again, give me the reason to understand you don't care about the opinions of others or their stories or spreading veganism, your position. You're poisoning yourself. And for what? I mean, oh my goodness. I can probably break this down. Okay. I don't want to be harassed. Okay, so I think that's how he feels. I don't think that's a fact. I don't think I was harassing him. I was just objecting to his position and giving counter arguments. Making a stand by staying in general chat so I can't talk to others. Good job. That's anti-free speech. Again, giving me the reason to understand. Okay. Again, giving me the reason to understand you don't care about the opinion of others or the story. You care about spreading veganism. Okay, so I don't care about the opinions of others or their story. You care about spreading veganism. That's a straw man. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be in here. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be trying to explain to him why I think his epistemology is wrong. It's not that I hate him. I think he's just taking this personally. I think he's just being kind of salty about this. Like I said, I thank you. If you're watching this, Raw Carnivore, thank you for your time. I don't hate you. I just disagree with you. You got to chill, man. You care about spreading veganism. You're poisoning yourself. Okay, so he's appealing to emotion. So he's contradicting himself because he's appealing to emotion. He wants me to care about his story and what he wants to talk about, but he doesn't want to care about what I want to talk about. So he's contradicting himself. So okay. You're appealing to emotions, dude. Look, man, I disagree. You're taking this personally. I just disagree with you. I don't hate you. So yeah, this is often how it goes when you have epistemological mistakes. And the other thing too is he's sort of framing himself as the victim here, when in reality he's just not understanding what someone else has to say. And the thing is I'm not going to let him overspeak me and try to take control of the conversation. We need to give each other some room to speak. But if somebody is trying to avoid the conversation or use certain fallacious tactics such as straw manning or trying to be dishonest in some shape or form, I will interrupt. But beyond that, we need to try and find this healthy balance of giving each other to speak. And I really try my best to do that in these conversations. So let me know down below what you think. Anyway, so like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell, join the Discord room, and also join the Vegan Cult Discord room where this conversation started. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, to have an amazing 24 hours. After our little conversation, I sent him a DM. Thanks for your time. I know you feel upset, but this was nothing personal. I hope you have a blessed day. His response: see, these things you're doing, they're not normal. Why you keep talking to me? What do you want? I'm like, what is normal? Just question mark is like, what is normal? What are you saying? He's like, I'm out. I said, take care. I sent him some information about logic razors as well as an appeal to anecdote fallacy. And I even showed him the fallacy that the logic razor that he was falling into. The falsifiability principle. Anyways, his response is, this is harassment, mate. You can't understand two things. One, don't want to talk to you. Two, you muted me. That's disrespectful. I would have unmuted him right away, like I said, but more importantly, I am a mod in that server, and he's telling me that he doesn't want to talk to me. That's like working in a restaurant and being employed and saying that you do not want to talk to your manager. And when your manager wants to talk to you, you're claiming that the manager is harassing you. I'm a mod. It's my job to talk to people if I feel like they're out of line. I have that type of authority in that Discord room. So the reason why I wanted to show this is because this individual's epistemology has now not only led to him making issues in what he believes to be truth, but it's also allowed him into developing a victim complex. He sees himself as being harassed when all I'm trying to do is shed light and truth and knowledge. And sure, you could maybe say that I'm doing it in the sense I'm being a little bit persistent, but honestly, I'm just trying to let him know it's nothing personal. Anyways, yeah. Another thing, the moment after I left the Discord room, he rejoined the Discord room to wait for someone else to talk to try and convince his feelings and anecdotes to that person. For anyone listening to this or watching this, I hope something you take out of this podcast, this debate, this conversation, talk, whatever, is that this is a type of person and this is a type of philosophy. This is a type of way of thinking that you do not want to fall down. You do not want to end up becoming a victim. You do not want to end up appealing to emotions and anecdotes. And you do not want to end up rejecting science in favor of your feelings and trying to dumb down the world to how you feel. Or else you can end up with a victim complex and accusing people of harassment who will not let you cut them off without any good justification for doing so. And people who are trying to help you understand what is truth in a good faith manner.